When it comes to marketing your business, specificity is key. When it comes to marketing your business on social media, specificity is the master key of all keys on your 37 key ring. Okay. This may sound silly, but I think realtors are the best niche marketers. Okay, and before we go any further, I know, potato, niche. I prefer to say niche because it makes me feel fancy. Okay, so if you hate the fact that I'm saying niche, my apologies, because I too know that there are riches in niches. But I want to be fancy. I want to say niche. Okay, so let's get back to it and just know that your fancy friend be using fancy words today. Okay, so let's go back to this. Why do I think realtors are the best niche marketers? I use the word best loosely, but I believe that real estate agents, realtors, they've just struck a chord with consumers. Now, play with me here for a second. Can you think of the last time you saw a realtor's advertisement without her photo attached to it? Do you remember the last time you saw a for sale sign on the lawns without a smiling picture of John Smith, the nation's premier Sotheby's agent, on it? Even the calendar magnets that arrive in the mail, they too have an agent's face emblazed across the top. Now, have you ever taken time to consider why? Well, when a home buyer is making a $850,000 purchase or a $400,000 purchase or an $8 million purchase, she is not merely looking for recommendations and industry credibility. She's looking for someone she can trust. And strangely enough, being able to see the person you're working with plays a vital role in consumerism. Now, in the same vein, when a prospective client is looking to find the right wedding photographer, let's just say, being able to see him or her makes an incredible difference. Now, I know that the first thing I do when I visit a photographer's website, I go straight to the bio or like the about section. I want to know whose work I'm looking at. I want to see photos through their eyes. There is nothing more disconcerting to me than going to a bio section and then seeing like something inanimate, like a bouquet, rings, or like something other than a picture of the photographer. Now, this is not just for realtors or photographers. I'm going to come out and make you really uncomfortable and say, if you are a small or medium-sized business owner, you need to have your photo on your website. Now, I know you're going to say, but Jasmine, I work with a team. That's fine too. Maybe add a picture of the team as well. But here's a real question. Have you ever been to a professional athlete's website and not seen a picture of him? Have you ever been to a Fortune 500 company site and not see a picture of the CEO or the board members? Have you ever visited an actor's website and not seen headshots? No, never. And those people, they know what's working and why it's working. And I'm here to tell you, you can make it work even better. In order for you to stick out in a saturated market, you have to become an authority based on personality, purpose, and promise of what you're going to deliver to the customer. Now, if you've been listening here around the block, you know me. I love some alliteration, right? Like anytime I can come up with 3 words with the same letter, I'm going to do it. So let me repeat what I just said. For those people in the back who didn't hear me, and for those who just love alliteration, in order for you to stick out in a saturated market, you have to become an authority based on personality, purpose, and promise of what you're going to deliver to the customer. So when it comes to social media, I believe 80% of your content should be about your business so you become an authority in your niche. Now, I did not say 80% of your content should sell your business. I said 80% of your content should be about your business, conversations, engaging, giving insights into what makes you unique and fun and engaging. And the other 20% should be about you. That's right. I believe you should show your face to foster connection with your audience. Now, even if you are still on the line and you're like still not believing me and you said, Jasmine, darling, you said we were going to be talking about building out my niche. I did, boo-boo. But before we get to the meat, we got to get to the appetizer. Okay. How about we do a little mouche-bouche, right? I'm going to do a little palate cleanser. Before we get into talking about your niche, I want you to show up, because even if you don't believe me, or even if you're going to resist me, studies show that photos on social media perform 64% better if there's somebody, AKA a human, in the photo, AKA you as the business owner. When you show up about what it is that you do, they will perform better. Here's the thing. I don't even need to say that twice, because you know it's true. Whenever I'm having consultations with business owners, specifically like members on the inside of Social Curator, most of them are befuddled. They'll go in and they'll ask, why is this photo of me with like messy hair doing meal planning instead of my beautifully curated meal planning photos taken by a professional photographer? Like, why is the ugly photo of me doing better? Stats, baby boo. People want to see the person and or the team behind the product or service that you're selling. Now that I got you over here with me, the other way you become an authority is by filling in a specific need in the market. Now we're getting to the entree. What I mean here is that you have to find your niche, AKA who you serve and how you serve them. This is important for business owners in all stages of business, because getting specific will make it easier for you to advertise your product or service and explain exactly what you want to do. For example, a holistic wellness coach or a weight loss coach is much better from a niche perspective than just saying health coach, since it's defining the market and outlining the specific results you provide. A while ago, I had a conversation with my mentor, James Wedmore, and I asked if I could share his insights in our conversation, and that's what I'm going to be sharing today. The intention of the rest of this content is to identify your niche, and I really love his perspective, so we're going to dive right in. So, first things first, we got to get a few things straight. I don't know your niche, nor will I tell you your niche, nor will I give you permission. If you DM me on Instagram at Jasmine Star and you are asking for my opinion, I will wish you well, but I will not tell you what to do, baby boo, because no one will ever give you permission. In fact, I am telling you, you should never wait for somebody's permission, because you're going to be waiting a long time. They don't know you. They don't have your vision. They don't have your insights, nor do they have your chutzpah. You are the only person who can give yourself permission to do the thing that you want to do. You don't need prerequisites to do what you love. You don't need certification, a book, a degree, thousands of followers on Instagram, hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook to hit the 1 million view club on YouTube. I don't care. What you need to do right now in this moment is you need to be able to show that you can give your customers or your clients results. The end. You need to be able to show that you can give results. And in Spanish, my daddy would say punto final. Okay? That's the final point. That's where we're at right now. I believe you already know your niche. Now, it might not be in your head, but it's in your heart. I believe you know who you want to work with. And sometimes you're just a little scared to admit it. Now, whenever somebody's like, yeah, Jasmine, I know who I want to serve, but I don't. And here comes all the excuses. Who am I to do this? Like, I don't know if I'm qualified, or somebody else is more qualified. Or Jasmine, somebody is doing the thing I already want to do. Somebody's already said the things I want to say. Or Jasmine, what are the things that people are going to say to me when I show up? Listen, baby boo, if you are going to let somebody else's opinion on your success and your business stop you from showing up and claiming your niche, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you, you don't want it bad enough. Ooh. Did that sting? I hope it did. But I also know that you do want it bad enough. that you got to this point in the conversation on the podcast. And even if what I said was true, there's a difference of saying that's true and then changing and going in a different direction, or saying that's true and giving up. I know that I do not talk to the people who stop. I do not talk to people who give up. I do talk to people who say, I used to be. We're a bunch of used to be's. I love saying that members and social curator are used to be's. I used to be tired. I used to be overwhelmed. I used to be afraid. I used to be fearful. I used to be doubtful. That was you yesterday. But the decision you made to say, I know the odds are stacked against me and I'm still going to be moving forward. Okay, you, me here, we're doing the dang thing. Can I clap that up? Yes, I don't care if you're at the gym waiting to pick up your kids from school. I don't care if you're listening to me while you're making food. I'm just saying it's time for us to clap it up, because if you are a used to be, welcome to the club. Let's get this party started. Okay. I want to start with a few questions for you to consider when it comes to identifying your niche. I want you to ask yourself, number one, what problem do you specifically solve? Like, you have to make sure that oftentimes people say, oh, I help people stop being overwhelmed, or I help people stop being stuck. Well, being stuck isn't the problem. Being stuck is how they feel about the problem. Now, the truest definition of a problem is an experience of something unwanted. Like, a problem is defined as a gap. Now, when somebody says, I'm stuck, that's not the problem. That's their emotions about the problem. I want you to describe their problem, like their current experience, right? Like somebody says, I might feel overweight. Well, that's the emotion associated with the desire to lose weight. So the problem is, I want to lose weight. The emotion is feeling fluffy. You don't say, I help you not feel fluffy. That doesn't address the problem. You say, I help you lose weight if you are a holistic weight loss coach. Now, the second question you have to ask is, who do you specifically serve? Now, this is where, y'all, I get so much resistance from people because they say, no, Jasmine, I want to serve anybody who's willing to hand over a Black American Express card. To which I respond, no, you don't, because ain't nobody using a Black American Express card to buy a scoop of vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, when is the last time you walked into 31 flavors and you're like, of all these flavors, what I really want? Vanilla. No, you want the scoop of ice cream that is like so you. And if you're asking me, I like some butter pico rican. Okay, just kidding. Okay, so let's get into who specifically you serve. People, basically your customers or clients, they want to know, or they want to feel that your product or service was made specifically for them. When it comes to marketing your business, specificity is key. When it comes to marketing your business on social media, specificity is the master key of all keys on your 37 key ring. Okay. Because if you're targeting business owners, they want to say what type of business. If I was going to give like relationship advice, it would probably behoove me to like list the phase of the relationship, right? Like, empty nesters, newlyweds, you just met. All of a sudden, you're going to feel like that information is tailored to what it is. Like, if I was a fitness professional, which I ain't, because, I like ice cream, but a pico rican flashback. Okay, so if I was into fitness, it would be important for me to list like an age range or health goals or like a stage of life, right? It is very important for us to address the problem we're solving, but then specifically the problem we solve for who those people are. Now, we want to get very, very specific. So let's say I already gave an example of a fitness professional, but my mentor, James, he has an example, and he used to teach YouTube. Like, he used to teach how to build your business with YouTube. And he had explained that when you're teaching YouTube to actors, that's very different than teaching YouTube to course creators. Now, I want to ask you two other questions to kind of follow up and help round out how you are going to build your niche. This question is, how specifically do you serve them? Because I believe and know you need a specialty. Why? Because people pay for results. So speak to these with your proven formulas or your sought after process, right? Like it's not enough to say, I will help grow your business. That's still really nebulous. It's different than saying, I will help you double your business through the process and framework that we've developed on the inside of Social Curator, right? I went very specifically with making a bold promise, I will help you double your business. And number two, the tools and resources that I've created is the how. And now we're going to get into the fourth question. This is going to be the thing that rounds it out. And that is, why specifically you? Right? Because I'm going to be real. I am not the only business strategist in the world. I'm not the only photographer in the world. And you are probably not the only health coach in the world or business coach or dog walker or jewelry maker, right? So you have to answer the questions of why you? Like, why you over anyone else? And this is where you could list awards you won. You could list industry credibility. You could list perhaps like certifications and things of that nature. Now, you don't need any of that, but if you feel like it would appeal to your target demographic, yeah, this is right here where you would list it. Now, if you are afraid because you don't have awards or degrees or certifications, don't worry. What I would do in this case is I would list the alternatives of getting it wrong, the alternatives of not hiring you. And you will all, if you follow me on social media, you will definitely see me lean when I'm in a promotional period for Social Curator. Like, I will list the alternative of not investing in Social Curator. And the alternative is to, wander around without a clear plan for social media progress, wandering around doing it on your own without the support. Because we have the proven case studies, right? We have these testimonials of people doubling their business. We have these testimonials of people getting featured on television and podcast and book proposals because of their presence on social media. So even though I didn't graduate from Harvard with like a degree in social media, I don't even know if that's a thing, but if it was, I ain't got it. It doesn't stop me from showing up because I'm listing the alternative of why somebody should pursue it and the ramifications if they didn't. And perhaps maybe you can also list your method that somebody reaches their desired results faster, easier, or more effective. So do you need awards? No. Do you want to mention them? Sure. But even if you don't have them, you can list the alternatives of not booking you, not hiring you. And you can also list the reasons why your offer, your product or service is faster or more effective. Now, after you've answered these 4 questions, I want to walk you through my good friend. His name is Mel Abraham. He created a value articulator statement, and it's so simple. But when I saw it, I was like, yo, homie, this is really good because I believe this statement is going to be the framework that you can use to describe what you do. Think of this like a very good elevator pitch, and you don't have to work too hard on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this formula from Mel's statement, and then I'm going to give you an example. So, the value articulator statement begins here. I help who do what so that, then you list the result, unlike the alternative result, because, and then you give a reason why. Now, I know in audio, it makes it a little hard, but I also am going to be giving you a link to downloading a workbook on how to find your niche. You'll find that at jasminestar.com/niche. But let me read this to you for audio. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example if you're a virtual assistant. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the blanks with an accent so that you could see where I filled in the blanks from this template. Okay, here we go. I have terrible accents, but I'm just going to run with this. I help business owners get organized in the business so that they can make more money without spending more time in the business. So if you download the workbook, all you have to do is fill in the blanks. And friends, you are like 85 steps closer to knowing who your niche is. Now, I want to take a step back and I want to remind you of something. Your niche doesn't define you and it doesn't put you in a box. You have infinite potential with multiple zones of genius. A niche refers to one of your courses, one of your services, your products, or your programs. Now, I know you might think, well, if I'm too niche down, I'm going to lose out on customers or sales. But baby boo, trying to be everything to everyone is what's limiting your customers. People buy from specialists. They will buy faster and with less resistance. From my experience, every time I created a niche, people drove longer, spent more, waited, invested earlier, had least resistance, way less refunds. Like when I said explicitly who I was serving and how they get specific results from yours truly, everything started working much faster than it had before. Now, getting specific is going to feel uncomfortable at first, and that's totally normal. So I want you to know that's normal. Push through the resistance. You want people to say, this is exactly what I need, or he is the exact person I wanted to buy from. Now, as a way to close this up, I want to ask you a very honest question. If you were walking down the street and I was holding one sign in my right arm and one sign in my left arm, which one would you pick? Sign number 1. Here's how you make your first $1,000 online. And here is the sign I'm holding in my left arm. Make more money. Which sign would you choose? You would likely choose the one where you had a definite result without something more nebulous. A big mistake I see many business owners make is focusing on the how and not the transformation. And what I mean by this is that they emphasize the process and not the result. So let's get this into an example. Here's an example. I help entrepreneurs change their mindset. Okay, but chances are entrepreneurs don't even know they need to change their mindset. A better statement for me, and this is exactly what I say, is I help entrepreneurs double their income through shifting their mindset. So I had a definite result, doubling your income, and the process matters, but that's not necessarily what people are buying initially. The process is the benefit of the promise. And baby boo, nobody cares about the how as much as they care about what's in it for them. So friend, thank you for joining this conversation. This is all about focusing on how to find your niche, AKA this is how you find your dream customer. If you need more help with finding your niche and you want a step-by-step approach to explaining who you serve and how you help them, you are going to love my free workbook that you can download at jasminestar.com/niche. Friend, if you found this podcast helpful, enjoyable, share it with a friend or leave a review. I read every single one and they are like a breath of fresh air, pushing me forward to creating content that you find valuable. Remember, I am here to serve you and serve you well. If you would like more information, if you have ideas, or you just want to leave a little bit of love notes via the interwebs, be sure to leave a review. I appreciate it, and I will chat with you soon.